Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is D, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is... Can you guess it? Yes, it's balance again. And I'm trying to shake my app and shake the cards, but sometimes you just can't question it, right? This card has come up enough, and right now it's bookended around 3 life lessons cards of the Ancestor, the Hooded Man, the Son of Life, and then the Knight of Stones. And this card just fell off too, so it's back up there. And so what is this trying to tell us? First off, when we saw it, it was a balance of work-life situation. And then the second time, it was all about insecurity and jealousy. It was bookended around that. And then this last time, it was bookended around the Knight of Arrows, the Hawk. And the Knight of Arrows has got that vision and power. So the balance coming out of the insecurity, out of the jealousy, going into that vision and power, and being quick. Being that Knight of Arrows, being quick. And then you had the Knight of Stones come up yesterday, which is slow plotting energy, right? But anyways, the balance around, surrounded the Knight of Arrows, and it was actually the Knight of Arrows is looking at you. So, as I think about that, it's balancing that quick, decisive action of coming off of the emotional insecurity, right? Of coming off of that jealousy. And the Knight of Arrows is saying, what do you need to stand up for? All right? And sometimes when you stand up for something, it takes you out of balance, right? It puts you in the limelight, something you may not want to be in, all right? It sends a message out there that, that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, right? And you're putting more of the onus on you than on anything else, okay? And sometimes you need to have that balance around that balance of, what? It's a fine line between being in the limelight and not being in the limelight. And that's what that Knight of Arrows it was there for. And then the balance showed up and it said, okay, what do you need to stand up for, as well as have you checked your information? So, being able to, be in that limelight and take a step back a little bit and say, okay, I can check my information and make sure I'm doing the right things, all right, and being in that limelight at the same time. But I still need to make sure that I'm balanced emotionally, with my emotional fortitude as well as my work-life balance. And then, the Ancestor comes along, and then, this is 4 life lessons cards, 5 now. And the Ancestor comes along to listen to your own beat, okay? The universe is calling you. Only you know where it's calling you and where you're supposed to go, all right? But once you step through those birch trees, it becomes a commitment to, take that first step on your journey, a commitment to, move down your spiritual path. And the Knights are good, the Knight of Arrows and the Knight of Stones are good for starting quests, all right? Or they could be, looking at an offering coming in. So, here you are listening to your own universal beat, but at the same time, you have to be cognizant of, let's just say it's the universal beat. You have to be cognizant of what the world is saying to you, right? There's that balance again. The next day, the Hooded Man shows up. And, it's a little bit of introspection, all right? It's a little bit of looking within, all right? It's taking the time to look at your own fears and doubts within yourself, all right? You've listened to that universal beat, all right? You're part of the universe, part of the world, you're balanced. But here you're looking within, okay? Now, a little bit of the opposite of this could be, the mirror or the Hanged Man, looking at it from a different perspective, right? So, you with the balance, you have to have that balance of looking within as well as looking without, right? And seeing things from possibly a different perspective. And, you have to ask yourself that question of, am I balanced internally with my own soul? Or am I in conflict? All right. Now, the hooded man's got that light, that ray of light, that's shining. He's not holding he's not in the dark. He's in the light. So there is that balance there between light and dark, right? Amy's talking to the page of arrows, the wren, the smartest bird that's out there. So he's gaining knowledge and wisdom. And there's a balance between knowledge and wisdom. When do you use knowledge and when do you use the wisdom? How do you use it? Right? Okay. So you have to balance knowledge and wisdom with, checking your information based on that Knight of Arrows and that hawk. Using the wisdom to balance, all right, to the universe as well as the world. So the hooded man is pretty much got you thinking, and you have to balance that thinking out, okay, during this life lessons time, to understand where you are in the world, where you are within yourself, okay, where you are with your decision making, where you are emotionally from last week, as well as where you are with your work life situation. And then 3 days ago, the Sun of Life shows up, another life lessons card, giving you that energy, that raw energy to energize whatever it is you want to energize, right? Maybe you're energizing that lamp and that hooded man, okay? But again, the Sun of Life is all about growth. It's all about using, recharging yourself, right? Having that nuclear energy within shine without. But there's a balance there, okay? And we talked about that during this Sun of Life. So listening to that universal beat and still being part of the world. Looking within and then looking without with the hooded man. Now it's the energy patterns, okay? Are you giving too much out or are you taking too much in? Okay? This nuclear reaction that's going on, the Sun of Life, that's just energizing him, all right? He can only take so much energy. And then the rest is going to be almost like that 10 of Vessels, happiness. It won't be able to fill. So it'll be overflowing. But the Sun has got enough energy for everyone. Okay, so, as you're going about learning these life lessons, this week, and hopefully this balance card, helps it out a little bit, take in what you need, but give out what is needed as well, and have that equilibrium, that in and out flow of energy, that in and out flow of introspection and, outerspection. I don't even know if that's a word, all right? Looking within and looking without, okay? Being of the world and of the not, of the universe. And then yesterday's card, that Knight of Stones, that slow plotting energy, okay? And, the Knight is looking away from the balance. Actually, the card should be like this, because that way when I lay him down, the Knight of Stone is looking at all the life lessons card, going back to the balance. All right, and he's there to show you what your path is, and obviously this path through these 4 life lessons cards that are out there is to bring awareness to you in your life on where this balance is. You may already know it, okay, but it's kind of just hey, it's like a wake-up call. Be aware of what's going on, as you're listening to that universal beat. Be aware of what's going on when you're looking within, seeking that, looking at your darkest fears and your darkest doubts, right? And don't over agonize on that. Okay, come to some sort of agreement. Don't be in conflict with your own soul, okay, or with your own spirit. And then, he's looking at it, showing you your path on, making sure the energy's right with that Sun of Life. Now he asks, where do you need to push through? Where do you need to push through as you're doing all this? And it's going to be difficult. It might even be easy, okay? Maybe the thing to do is just to, with this being the holiday weekend, being able to sit outside in the sun, put your toes in the sand, and just relax and find that balance within. Find that balance of, life is good. I've got things, I'm in a good perspective, right? I feel good. My spirit's good. Things are working well. All right. And just kind of wrap everything up and just, relax and become one with nature, because that's what this card stands for. It's a balance between humanity and nature. Okay. And what it does, all of this that's gone on here in the last 2 weeks is giving you that inner strength. Okay. It's giving you that tranquility. And it's taking you to the next step of being the higher self. And all the life lessons cards are patience cards. So, here's another key to being balanced, is being patient. And like I said, with the holiday weekend, take a moment to rest and be still. Trust and confidence in your own strengths helps to find that inner balance that's there. And when you find it in inner balance, you let loose those fears and worries and doubts, right? The only thing, the Knight of Stones asks, what is holding you back? There's only one thing that's holding you back, and that's you. That's you from just letting go and just, what? I'm not doing anything today. I'm gonna do like Dwayne said, D said. I'm gonna go out to the back. I'm gonna put my toes in the sand, my butt in the chair, and I'm gonna enjoy the weekend. Whether it's nice weather or bad weather, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna get that balance back. All right? And that's gonna help me grow spiritually. It's gonna help me on my path that I'm on. And it's gonna open me up in that state of balance. Well, you'll feel that you're just in that flow of continuity. All right, so there you go. That's the card of the day again, balance. Hit that like button for me, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel. This is D for A Spirit's Path, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.